Look around you for a moment. The screen in front of your eyes feels solid. The room around you feels separate. It feels undeniably real, but your brain is not actually perceiving reality as it is. Right now, it is constructing a simplified version of the world, a survival simulation designed to save energy. Your mind takes an infinite, interconnected universe and slices into separate objects, names, and categories. It creates boundaries where none truly exists. This process feels natural because you have lived inside it your entire life. But why would the brain do this? Why would nature build a system that filters reality instead of showing it completely? Because your brain is not primarily designed to reveal truth. It is designed to keep you alive. Inside your skull is an organ obsessed with efficiency. Your brain consumes enormous amounts of energy, constantly predicting what will happen next so your body can respond before danger arrives. It predicts movement, emotion, hunger, stress, even identity itself. The person you call me is part of that prediction system. Your memories, your personality, your senses of being a separate individual, all of it functions like a biological interface, a survival dashboard helping the body navigate the world efficiently. Science refers to this predictive balancing process as allostasis. Your body constantly calculates how much energy, water, oxygen, and glucose it will need in the next few moments. It prepares for reality before reality fully arrives. If a sudden shadow moves nearby, your nervous system can trigger stress hormones before you consciously understand what you saw. The ego is deeply connected to this process. It is not a solid object hiding somewhere inside your head. It is more like a running prediction, a mental model your brain creates to organize experience. And this is where the illusion becomes powerful. Look at any object near you right now. Notice how instantly your brain separates it from the background. It outlines the edges, it gives the object a label, it isolates it from everything else around it. That slicing mechanism is useful for survival, but it also creates the feeling that reality itself is divided into disconnected pieces. Modern neuroscience suggests that the left hemisphere of the brain specializes heavily in analysis, categorization, language, and separation. It breaks reality into manageable fragments. Meanwhile, the right hemisphere processes context, patterns, relationships, atmosphere, and wholeness. Both systems are necessary, but problems begin when the analytical side completely dominates perception. Instead of seeing reality directly, you begin seeing only mental categories. You stop seeing a human being and start seeing your idea of them. You stop seeing the present moment and start seeing labels, judgments, memories, and expectations. Modern society intensifies this fragmentation. Technology constantly trains attention toward isolated pieces of information. Notification, metrics, followers, likes, headlines, endless scrolling feeds. Human experience becomes reduced into measurable fragments. Your attention becomes divided. Your identity becomes performance. Your life becomes data. And slowly, the mind forgets how to rest in the larger whole. This is why so many people today feel mentally exhausted, even when doing very little physical. The nervous system rarely experiences undivided presence anymore. It remains trapped inside prediction, comparison, categorization, and self-monitoring. The strange part is that even spirituality can become another trap. The analytic mind hears ideas like awakening, oneness, or ego dissolution and immediately turns them into goals to achieve. It transforms wholeness into another project, but reality cannot be captured through endless mental analysis. The more the mind tries to grasp totality as an object, the more fragmented experiences become. It is like trying to use a flashlight to illuminate its own hub, or trying to bite your own teeth. The system built to divide reality cannot fully comprehend what exists before division. So what happens when the brain stops obsessively slicing experience apart? Something subtle begins to shift. You notice space instead of only objects. You notice silence beneath thought. You notice awareness itself before the labels appear. For brief moments, the pressure to constantly become something begins to soften. This does not mean the analytical mind disappears. You still need it to function in daily life, but it returns to its proper role, a tool instead of a prison. One of the most effective ways to loosen the grip of constant mental fragmentation is through direct, tactile experience without goals attached to it. Paint without trying to create a masterpiece. Play music without needing perfection. Walk through nature without tracking steps or taking photos. Create something simply for the experience itself. When attention settles fully into direct experience, the predictive machinery temporarily relaxes. The mind stops obsessing over outcomes long enough to reconnect with the present moment. And perhaps the deepest realization is this: you do not need to become whole. You were never truly separate to begin with. The senses of isolation is slightly maintained through continuous mental division. The endless labeling, comparing, predicting, and defending of a psychological identity. Life itself is already happening before thought explains it. Breathing happens. Hearing happens. Awareness happens. Reality does not need to be forced into completeness. It already is. The mind simply learned to carve reality into pieces for survival, and over time it forgot that the pieces were never truly separate from the whole. Peace may not come from perfecting the self. It may come from loosening the need to constantly divide experiences into me and everything else, because beneath all the mental slicing, beneath all the predictions and labels, there remains something untouched, a silent, open awareness in which all of life appears. If this message resonated with you, don't just leave it here as another idea stored in the mind. Sit with it, observe your thoughts, observe the space between them, and begin noticing how often the mind slices reality into labels, fears, identities, and endless predictions. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to the True Awakening channel with Tabang and turn on notifications so you don't miss future explorations into consciousness, reality, the subconscious mind, and the deeper nature of existence. And if you feel called to support the channel, you can join the community. Until next time, stop fighting reality, stop trying to become, and simply learn to see what has always been here. Stay true, stay awakened.